everybody. My name is Hallie Harmon. I was unable to get any guests to attend me today. Everyone's working, so it's just me, but I was able to get a professional room, so that was nice. I would like to start off by introducing myself. My name is Hallie Harmon, and I'm here to give an informative speech on meetings and presentations. My purpose is to inform you guys on how to properly conduct meetings and presentations and help you guys out for your future ones as well. Alright, have you guys ever struggled with presenting or conducting a meeting? They can be really nerve-wracking, and I'm here just to help you guys with ways to cope with that. Today I'm going to explain what an effective meeting and presentation looks like, some techniques and to help the process go more smoothly, and tips and tricks on how to present within a group. So you might be wondering, well, why is she credible? What does she have to say? So I've actually done my own research within our class textbook and also my own personal research along with my own personal experiences within high school and college. For your next presentation or meeting, I hope you have more knowledge on how to properly conduct and lead and be a successful presenter. So I'm going to be talking about 3 main points today. I actually have my first visual aid, my posters. So I'm going to be talking about effective meetings and presentations, presentation techniques, and tips and tricks for presenting within a group. First, let's talk about what an effective meeting looks like and how to lead one to the best of your ability. So for effective meetings and presentations, there's a few key points that I'd like to make. Beforehand, have a clear goal to stick to throughout your presentation and meeting to make sure you stay organized and for the purpose to be clear to your audience. Having a clear purpose and goal is the first step to having a successful and effective meeting and presentation. Next, you must decide what day and time it works best to hold your meeting or presentation. Creating a time that works for everyone is crucial so that all the attendees can be there. Finding out what works best for you and your group or audience is very important. Next, we have to create an agenda and plan on what will be discussed and will help your group and audience. The agenda is the outline of topics that will generate discussions among your group members and listeners. This provides engagement throughout the meeting or post-presentation questions. Agendas also allow your listeners to know when the meeting or presentation is going to start so that not only you, the conductor/presenter, is not running late, but also the group members and audience. I have my second visual aid, which is an article from the New York Times called Start on Time, End on Time. So I'll go ahead and read a couple of the main points. So, nothing can drain the energy from a room quite like waiting for the person in charge to show up. Why do so many positions of power fall into the bad habit of being late for meetings? Is it just that they're so busy? Or is there a small thrill in keeping everyone waiting for them? A reminder that their time is somehow more valuable than everyone else's. Time is money, of course, and all that sitting around trying to guess when the boss may arrive is a waste of precious resources. When establishing the informal rules of an organization, employees must take their cues from the person in the corner office. If that person wants meetings to start on time, meetings will start on time. So that's just kind of an article showing that really everyone is waiting on you. It's really important to be on time, especially if you're leading it. It looks really unprofessional if you're late, and yeah, time is money, so it's important. Next, we have to make sure to follow up with your group members and listeners if possible within a timely manner to ensure there are no miscommunications or unanswered questions and thoughts from others. And then we have to follow that out. We have my third visual aid, which is just kind of an image, tips for running effective meetings. These just kind of say a bunch of random things that I already talked about a little bit, but arrive 5 minutes early, create an agenda 24 hours in advance, come prepared, no phones, no interrupting, start and end on time, share all relevant data, disagree without being disagreeable, challenge ideas rather than people, no side conversations, follow up by email within 24 hours. So that kind of goes with what I was saying, make sure to follow up with your group members. That's also very important. Uh-oh, sorry about that, I accidentally clicked out of it. So next, of course there are ways to help you conduct the meeting and present, but in order to do that, you have to know how to properly present to your group members and audience, and there are many helpful techniques that will assist you in doing so. Presentation techniques is our second main point. Having a purpose on your presentation topic is what you want your audience and listeners to know and think. When you have a purpose on what you're presenting about, it allows your audience to connect and really listen to what you have to say and tell them. Next, we have analyze and adapt to your listeners and audience to see how they are feeling about what you are saying and what their opinions are. This helps you connect with them and form a bigger bond that can trust you more. Next, we have credibility. I already sort of touched on this, but it's super, super vital to having a successful presentation. It's a key component, and when you establish why you are credible enough on this topic, you are teaching your audience. It allows them to believe you more and trust you, know what you're saying is true and accurate. Next, we have having your logistics planned out prior to presenting. This helps you significantly overall. The logistics are your strategic planning, arranging, and knowing how you are going to use your time and materials throughout your presentation. Next, we have collect content for your presentation topic leading up to it. Content can consist of research, credible sources, and materials. After you collect your content, you have to organize it. And then lastly is your delivery. Your delivery is how and what you were saying. Knowing you are going to present ahead of time how you're going to do it, knowing what you are going to say will help your listeners remember your overall message. Next, I have numbers 4 and 5. I have a figure, kind of printed small. This is actually from our textbook, so if anyone wanted to go back and look at it, it's figure 12.1 in the presentation chapter. So this is just kind of going over what I just said: purpose, audience, credibility, logistics, content, organization, and delivery all make up the key elements for presentations. And then my fifth VA was just my whole slide, my PowerPoint in general. So aside from knowing techniques to assist you in a successful presentation, there are also many quick and easy tips and tricks that can help you along the way. Tips and tricks for group presentation. Dress professionally and appropriately. And we're an example of what that could look like. There's a lot of options out there, obviously, as you guys know. So this is my outfit, just a blouse, jeans, and then I'm wearing heels. I know you guys can't really see them, but and it can vary for whatever you're presenting about. This was perfect for me, it's summer, but it always changes, so it's good to be aware of that ahead of time. First impressions are everything, and your appearance is about 55% of how you are seen to your audience. So it's kind of a big deal. First impressions are big deals. I have this printed. Visual aid, number 7, this is your first impression, how you are judged. So this is just kind of saying appearance and body language is 55% of how you are judged. How you talk is 38, and what you say is only 7. So it's kind of, only 7% of what you say is, retained. That's kind of a small number. Find a tone of voice that fits your group to avoid some members talking extremely loud and then some talking very quiet. This kind of throws off a distraction. People can't focus. They're too busy kind of seeing like the different ranges of voices and stuff. Next, it is okay to be nervous. Whether it's a solo presentation, like me, what we're doing, or a group presentation, people know the nerves are part of being human. Everyone gets nervous. I have an article, visual aid number 8. This is an article from Harvard Business Review titled, "Nerves Are Not Disaster." The audience expects you to be nervous. Acknowledging nervousness can also create engagement. Showing your vulnerability, whether through nerves or tone of voice, is one of the most powerful ways to win over an audience. Susan Cain, who wrote a book about introverts and spoke at a 2012 conference, was terrified about giving her speech. You could feel her fragility on stage, and it created this dynamic where the audience was rooting for her. Everyone wanted to hug her afterwards. The fact that we knew she was fighting to keep herself up there made it beautiful. And it was the most popular talk of the year. So that just kind of goes to show, at the end of the day, it will be okay if you're nervous. Everyone gets nervous. Lastly, the biggest tip and trick, I would say is the most important, It's just practice, practice, practice ahead of time with your group. Of course, being individual practice is important, but being there as a whole group practicing is really gonna shape the dynamic for your presentation overall. Conclusion. Now, before you go and do great on your next meetings and presentations, I would like to thank you for taking your time to listen to me present on how to present. Now, you are more than ready to conquer your meetings and presentations by knowing what effective meetings and presentations are, presentation techniques, and tips and tricks for group presentations. Now, this is where I would ask for questions, but I don't have anybody to ask. So you guys can just comment or on the discussion post and ask questions if you'd like. And then a reason to remember, last food for thought, is the best way to conquer stage fright is to know what you're talking about, by Michael H. Meskin. I just thought that was really true and a good way to end it. So just practice and you just know what you're talking about and it'll all be good. So thank you guys. Have a good day.